Hey, welcome to day 21 JavaScript arrays in 30 days. Welcome back, and hopefully you've been following along from the previous days. And as we've built up these helper um, array methods that we have on our prototype, and we've got a static method that we're going to be using. We've used in the last couple days as we've started to work with nested tree structures. Today is going to take it a little bit more in detailed. And over here on the right hand side, I've got a general idea of what I'm gonna try to accomplish. Um, and really, what's going to be happening is that we're going to be going a little bit more deep into the structure of the data that we're going to be working with and the output that is going to be shaped. Over here on the right hand side, and for day 21, you'll see that we have 4 arrays, and you can ignore the methods for now because I just need those as I start to build out the shape of the tree structure. We've got a list, we've got a videos, we've got box arts, and we've got bookmarks. Over in the output, we are going to have 2 objects that are going to be shaped based upon the lists. So we're going to have one object for the new releases and one object for the thrillers. Now, what we start to do is we start to go down the structure into the child modes, if that's the right way to say it. But we're along the lines of the structure of the object for the name for the new releases. We are then going to put together an array of videos that are tied with the new release. So each of the lists have an ID associated with them. With the videos is that we have a list ID that associates that video with the proper category, with the proper list. So that's going to allow us to be able to manipulate and filter out those videos that should be in the proper list. Now, as we shape the video, you'll start to see is that we have the ID and we have a title, but then we get a time and a box art. So there's where we go a little bit further down, and inside of the box arts, we have an association of the video ID with the video. So then we can start to do the manipulation with the box art to be able to pull out the URL for the particular box art for that video. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to pull out the smallest box art URL. So we're going to have to do some work reducing down to one of these objects that is the smallest of them. Finally, we're going. Finally, that was the last one. Sorry, we're going to have a timestamp, and that timestamp is going to come from our bookmarks. And here again, we have an association of the video ID that is associated with the video. The interesting part about putting together this structure is the fact that we need to be able to do this all synchronously. We need to be able to just do it as we've got a index for that array, for the video in that particular array. At the same time, we have got to be able to go through the box arts and the bookmarks and be able to do the one-to-one mapping between the video ID found in the box arts and found in the bookmarks, and be able to tie them together in order to be able to shape this particular object that's found in the videos array. So I'll put together sorry about that. Just a blank page that we're mainly just going to be seeing the output in the console. So let's go ahead and start here. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to work from the in small increments as much as I can. The first part is that I know that I have to map over and start the whole process of working with a list. Now, so for each of the list, we see that we're going to need to have an object. So with that object, we're going to actually have a name, which is the list name. And then we're going to start with the videos. And here's where we have to start. Here's all the heavy work right here. So the videos, we are going to have to filter. And for the video, we are going to have to check and see if the video list ID is indeed mapped to the list ID. So that's all. So, okay, so we got the mapping. Now, let me just pull this back, even if it might not look good, is we're going to use one of our built-in methods, not built-in, sorry, one of the methods that we've created, and that is concat map. And if you remember, what this does is that it starts a mapping process, and throughout that process, it's going to map and it's going to transform the data into the structure that needs to be, and then concat it all. So that's how we're going to be able to get the objects inside of this array. So with that, we are going to go ahead and we got to do a lot of structuring here. So we are going to take video, and from there we're going to have to zip, because if you see our zip method, we've taken a left array, a right array, and then we have a function that we can combine everything together. And remembering that all this has to happen simultaneously, this is going to allow us to pick the arrays that we need to work with at the same index as the video that we are currently on. So we're going to take this array zip, and the first, because we want to get time before box art, the bookmarks will be the left array. And really all we have to do for the bookmarks what do we have to do? Bookmarks, we just need to filter. So for the bookmark, we just need to check and see if the bookmark video ID is indeed the video ID that we're currently working with. So then next we're going to have the box art, and we're going to have to filter again to make sure that we're in sync with the current video that we're working with. So here we're going to take the, this is box arts, the box art, and then we're going to check the video ID on that particular box art and see if it is indeed associated with the video ID. All right, now this is where we then have to do most of our manipulation, because we did this the other day, is that we have to reduce down all of the box arts, the whole list of them, and be able to find the smallest one. And that is going to end up being the box art URL. So with the reduce is that we are going to take the accumulator and the current, and we're going to compare the width and the height against each other, and that will determine whether we take the accumulator or whether we take the current one. So here we're going to return the accumulator width times the accumulator height and see if it's less than the, let me move this over so it doesn't separate on lines. I think it's still going to. Accumulator width times the current width times the current height, then it's going to be the accumulator. Else, it's going to be the current. So now we can get to the point to where we combined. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine the bookmark and the box art that we're at. And here is where we are going to return the shape of the video. So the shape of the video takes an ID, and that is going to be the video ID. And then the title is going to be the video.title. The time will be the bookmark.time. And then the box art is going to be the boxart.url. I don't think I need that. Okay, so I think that we've been able to get this output that we're looking for based upon the requirements. So we want to build an array of list objects, each with a name and a video array. And the video array is going to contain the video's ID, video's title, the bookmark time, and the smallest bookmark box art URL. And the challenge for this one is that we're dealing with 4 different arrays that are on the same level, and yet we have to be able to nest them. So I think I have it. So we start the mapping process, and we start to build out the object for each of the lists. So we get the name, and then we start to build out the videos. So we filter to make sure that the current video is in line with the list ID. So whatever video we're looking at, the list ID has got to be the same. The video ID has got to be the same as the list ID. And then we're going to map over that video, and we're going to use our zip method so that we can stay in line. I don't know if that's the right word, that we can stay in conjunction with the current index of that video. And so with the bookmark array, we're going to filter to make sure that particular bookmark at that time has the video ID that is associated with the current video's ID. And then we're going to take the next array, that's the right array for this zip that we're going to be able to filter on that box art, making sure that it too is in line with the video. And then we're going to do the reducing down to where we want to make sure that we're getting the smallest of the box arts, which will become the URL for the video. So if we look at the shape of the video itself, is that we can see that we're building out the ID, the title, the time, and the box art. And with the video is good because we have a closure that allows us to still hold on to that video. And then from here, we have the closure with the bookmark and the box art that then we're able to return the values for the time in the box art. So to me, that makes sense. And the only way we'll know is that if I save this, and if I go back here, what do I gotta do? Do I gotta store it? Okay. All right, so let's see if we open up and what we get. So let's go based upon the requirements is that we're looking, let's close these off for now. So we're looking for new releases and thrillers. So we have our new releases, let me keep that closed. Our new releases and our thrillers, and we have videos. All right, so we're on the same. Let's go ahead and open up our videos. So for the first one, we should have 2 videos, which we do. And the second one, we should have 2 videos, and we do. All right, let's go back up and take a look at the new releases. Okay, let me pop this. Can I pop this open and make it? Yeah, there we go. All right, so the first one we have is we've got the chamber. And remember, that's one thing about objects is that, you know what, they won't come in any particular order. So that's, you know, you can't rely on that as you can with arrays. But let's see if we got the right shape for this. Is that we've got a title, and then we got a time, 3432, 4445, and chamber 130. That one we got right. Then we have fracture 543, 465, and fracture 120. All right, so new releases, we got that one good. Let's check out the thrillers. All right. So for the thrillers, we have 2 arrays. The first one is Die Hard, and that we do have. Second one is Bad Boys. Let's see, the timestamp for Die Hard is 243. It is 243. 470 is the ending for the ID. And we're looking for Die Hard 150. Yes. All right, so the first one is right. And the last one is Bad Boys. Timestamp ends with 934. ID ends with 6453. And we're looking for Bad Boys 140. All right. Well, that was very good. So we were able to accomplish the shaping of this deeply nested structure according to the acceptance criteria with this flat array, and being able to then structure it by mapping over the list. And then from there, we start building out the list. And then we actually then do most of the heavy work with inside of being able to build out the videos by first filtering to make sure that the video is indeed associated with the list. And then we start to map over the videos and we have a video that we're able to hold on to as we go through this process of zipping together the bookmarks and the box arts to make sure that they are in line at the same time with the current video index. And then we're able to return that video because we still have a hold on the video. And then we have the bookmark and the box art that we're currently holding on to that we have filtered on the bookmarks and filtered and reduced for the box arts. And then from there, we're able to take those that we've built out and then concat them together. So that was that's pretty good, I think. I think I got a hang on that. Anybody that might find something that's a little bit easier or a different way of being able to accomplish this, I would love to see it. We'll continue to get further and further into tree structures and querying and being able to really take hold of the usage of arrays. And now I can start to give you a little bit of a hint that this at the end of this 30 days for the arrays is now going to lead us into RxJS. So that's where this is leading to, and you might have seen some of these methods already. What I've been trying to do is really look underneath the hood and how they work, and then we'll be able to start to fly with being able to do some reactive programming. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that. We only got 9 days left on these 30 days, and so we'll continue on and see how far we can get into where we're at a point to where we're comfortable to jump over into the RxJS world. Appreciate your time, and thank you so much.